All right, welcome to Teaching Crypto, everybody. Please hit that like, that subscribe, bell notifications, super chats, and the store is available. How about that rally? Jerome Powell turns dovish all of a sudden, inflation is not important. It's now the job market that's important. And because of a high likelihood of interest rates, we saw Bitcoin fly. Literally, I was at work. I looked at my phone. At one point, people calling for 108, 109. Looked like we were going to 110 within minutes. We skyrocket within an hour and a half to almost 117, actually hit 117 later. A bit of a retrace, but amazing day. And ETH hits an all-time high.
Yeah, ETH was
boom,
the story
baby.
yesterday.
How about that?
Yeah, the ETH run made me think that the altcoin season was starting yesterday. As soon as Jerome Powell started
and you even posted on X
speaking. So as soon as he jumped on the mic yesterday, everything started running, and I was like, "Here we go."
Well, you jumped on X and you said, cancel your sell orders. Bullrun is on.
Bullrun is happening now.
And but look, ETH, I'm going to tell you right now, I think ETH is headed for 5K next week. I do think this pullback is a bit of a temporary thing here over the past 24 hours. Now, I thought we were getting this retrace in September, so I'm not sure about September. September traditionally is a bit of a cool off before a crazy October. And so, I've seen different things. The majority of the data says this is going to be over the next couple months in terms of tops for Bitcoin and altcoins. That, October, at some point in October, we've talked about this a lot. Bitcoin will surge, and I still think 150 to 180 is in play right now. To be honest, I'm sticking closer to the 150 mark. I do believe we talked about this off the air. You're a little bit hesitant to the 150. I think it's going to happen. I really do, because you're going to have interest rates almost for certain now. You have, countries like Indonesia talking about a Bitcoin reserve. There's going to be enough bullish noise for the miners and the whales to really accumulate. And I think there's going to be a lot of ETF movement. There'll be just enough hysteria in October for FOMO to hit. And then at some point in November, you'll slowly realize that October was the top. You don't realize it at the time, right? Because what happens is Bitcoin goes up and some alts will keep running all the way until the end of Thanksgiving, right? But at some point in November, December, you're like, oh, probably that was the top. You'll get another dead cat bounce in January and be fooled to thinking to come back down. And yeah, so that's all in play. But I do believe, and if you're not with us right now, what are you doing? Share the show for everyone as possible, because these next 8 weeks, I think this is it. This is it. This is your chance.
Yeah, and you mentioned that I was hesitant on the 150. It all depends on where we get to in the next month. If September isn't a slow month, then yeah, 150 is in play. But if we grind sideways or go backwards on Bitcoin, then I think 150 becomes more and more out of reach. And we start to look at things like the 130s, which is not where we wanted to go in this bull run. It would be a huge disappointment if we only got to 130 when our predictions were 150 to 180 somewhere. And other people calling for like 200 to 1 million this bull run.
Well, 1 million, I don't think anyone seriously thought that was going to happen. Yeah, 200K was definitely in play at one point. I mean, we got to 100K before January of this year. So yeah, if you zoom out, Bitcoin hasn't done that great since December, because what 114.7, 114, that's a 7.5% boost in how many months? That's not a typical bull run. But if you want to pull that chart, Mr. FOMO, I want to discuss something about what the levels are here. And again, not all charts are made equally, but I've seen this a lot online. 118 to 120 is kind of the mark we've got to establish. I said that a week ago. I said we got to establish 120. Well, we absolutely did not. We dipped all the way back down to 111. So I think what's critical for the rest of this month is, can you get over 118? And then can you at least maintain in the 120s in August? And then I really love the 150 mark or above for October. But how about this? Even if Bitcoin doesn't do a crazy rally, can the alts finally start moving in the next 6 weeks? So not all of this work can be done in October. There are only so many days in October. You can't have a crazy Bitcoin run and an alt seat. You could, but the chances are not great, I would say, for all that. So, yeah, rate cuts are coming. Now's the time. Maybe you believe in an extended cycle. I don't know. Not you per se, but some of our viewers. Um, but yeah, go ahead and comment on that hat while you're at it.
Yes, it's a Savannah Bananas hat. I'm a huge Bananas fan. I took my son to see him the last time they were around here. Um, it's a good time. You should definitely go check it out if you have a chance.
Well, what the viewers don't know is you used your stellar luminous gains from the last cycle to buy those tickets, and you canceled an X space on Mark Epstein, who we're finding out now from the. So you canceled all that to take your son. So that
the
is
good
great.
news about Bananas
We
tickets
brought
is
that up.
they're only $25 a piece, and then it's first come first serve when it comes to the seating. So it's you're not breaking the bank. I didn't need to make that much on Stellar Lumens to be able to take my son.
Actually, because of Stellar Lumens, you had to park further away from the stadium.
And I could only get this hat.
Okay. Yeah, you had to tell your son no hot dog, no popcorn. But look, not only am I looking at the 118, I'm also still, again, I want everyone to be cautious. I'm looking for October to be the month where everything kind of not grinds to a halt, but traditionally that's when things kind of slow down. But I think it's important to really, on this Saturday morning, as we're upset about 114, remember the bear at one was at 16K though. That was the bottom of this cycle. So yes, 130, 140 is not going to make a lot of people rich. But don't you wish you were in this room, Mr. FOMO, right here? Look at this empty room. And you read it, it says explaining Bitcoin to $100 at $100 to an empty room. Man, the show was not around back then. If we were around back then, who knows if we'd still be doing this? Maybe we would, but just in
have
much,
a lot more subs,
more tropical, more tropical, nicer places. Yeah, we'd have nicer equipment.
We'd be doing 100%. Daily shows because we wouldn't be teaching anymore.
Yeah, the $100. It's a matter of perspective. Now, does that mean Bitcoin is going to 1 million this cycle? No, it does not. But I really, Mr. FOMO, unless there is something crazy going on, and who knows this world, I think within the next 8 years, we will see 1 million. And within the next 12 to 16, we will see 10 million. I know that's a huge lifespan. I think actually closer to 12 than 16. But I think you'll see the million and eventually the 10 million. It's just going to take time, right? That's the reality. It's not popular to say this on a show, but Bitcoin is kind of boring because to really maximize, you got to hold for 4 years, not 4 days, not 4 hours, not 4 weeks, not 4 months. And I think the majority of people that first get into Bitcoin, they don't understand that. They think crypto, you buy something and the next day, you are, moving to an island and buying $100,000 jewelry for your wife. That's not the reality.
No. Crypto is not a get-rich scheme, especially not anymore with 19 million and counting cryptos on the market. It really is, and I mean, it just isn't what it used to be when it comes to getting your 100Xs, your 1000Xs, there may be times where you get those on the market, but they are going to be very rare now.
Yeah, so I want to tell our viewers there's still a lot of opportunity though in the next couple months, and that's what I kind of think is really important. Now, I've been reading this, but I haven't spoke enough about it on the show. I want to circle back to ETH here because we know Michael Saylor probably tomorrow at some point he'll put out a post on X talking about how he's going to buy more Bitcoin. Well, there's been a company called Sharplink Gaming that's been purchasing ETH now weekly, right? Or bi-weekly. And the board just approved 1.5 billion in stock to purchase more ETH. So this is not being talked enough. So you can buy this stock on the market, actually, SBNet, and they've been kind of rising along with ETH, and they've just been accumulating ETH, more and more ETH. By the way, so has this administration that's in the White House. Just saying, not the U.S., not the country, but his private, financial situation, which sometimes they get intertwined. But I'm just that's a whole nother show,
Yes.
my friend. But ETH is getting purchased. That's the reality. It's not just the average person, and that's why now I've seen a lot of influencers say if you have spot on ETH, meaning you're not doing some kind of crazy trade with a 5 or a 10x, you're safe to hold to 10K before mid-November. I think that's too risky, but I am confident not only in the 5K ETH. I'm really feeling a 6K ETH in October. And at first, I was planning honestly to take profits around 5K. I'm going to be a little bit greedy, and I might still do it at 5K because I got in well before 2K in this cycle. But I think I might want to hold off to 6K here. What do you think? Too risky?
Well,
Or
I
what are your
said weeks
thoughts?
ago that I saw a window for ETH somewhere between 5,800 and 7,200, and that seems to be playing out pretty well, especially with the predictions that I see jumping into the market now. But yeah, I think that our window is somewhere in between there. If you take profits around 6, you're probably safe. But that candle yesterday was out of control. I mean, it made you
Good,
believe in
great to
crypto
see.
again, didn't it?
Yeah, it was great to see. We just need more
Yes.
of that. We need more consistent momentum, and we love to see the alts come through. Okay, there's a couple more that I want to talk about, and I'm an XRP holder. It's not a huge chunk of my portfolio, but a decent amount. It could, buy some meals, at least if depending on what restaurant I go to. For a XRP ETF, I've seen calls for $6 XRP. I've seen calls for $9 XRP by November. I do love XRP to make it to 5. Before this recent pullback a week ago, I thought it was going to happen sooner rather than later. But if you want a safe bet beyond Bitcoin and ETH, XRP is one that I really, really think will fly here.
Yeah, and people forget that the reins have been taken off XRP. So
Great point.
XRP used to run even when they were not able to be traded on most platforms. They used to run um, when they were still under that lawsuit from the SEC. But now all of those reins have been taken off,
Absolutely.
and you're going to see XRP do something special this bull run. If we have a traditional alt season, which we still think we're going to get a couple of months of that, XRP is going to be one of the leaders in the market because of those reasons.
Now, Mr. FOMO, one of your favorite tokens of this cycle, and I know you can't wait to get your son and daughter some of these stuffed animals. Peng Yu has had a big retrace. This is your chance, Mr. FOMO, to once you close down the computer after the show, sit down your wife and tell her you're taking equity out of your house for just the next couple months and riding Peng Yu until Thanksgiving. Please, by the way, record that discussion, post it on
No,
X, and we'll play it.
we're not having that discussion.
Mr. FOMO doesn't want to get divorced by noon today. But but in all seriousness, I don't know why I see so many influencers talking about Peng Yu. Maybe they have a ton of money in it, but a lot of people keep saying they love this chart. And for the first time in a while, it's dipped below 2 billion. We first started talking about it. We're a little below a billion. You were not a believer. And then it made a run to almost 3 billion. Now we've retraced all the way down to 1.9. Are you telling our viewers if they want to take a risk to think about Peng Yu?
Absolutely. You can take a risk on Peng Q if you feel like it. The thing that I like about it is that it has the stuffed animals that go with this. It isn't just a crypto, pump and dump. It isn't a meme coin. There is something. There is toy sales that are behind this. So that's one of the things that I like about it.
And an ETF filing.
And an ETF
You don't
filing.
see that. Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to take a risk on something, this wouldn't be too bad of a risk, especially now that its market cap is where it's at.
But you think from 3 to 10 cents, you're not buying that, though. I take it.
No, yeah, I mean now that I know more about it, I'm okay with Pengu. It's just not my favorite.
Okay, so you think a 3x here is possible in 2 months? That would be, considering the market we've been in, that would make a lot of people happy. Again, do your own research. I personally don't have any Pengu, but I might consider getting some before Monday. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Um, you know, uh, you can't time these things perfectly, but the worst thing guys want to be doing is buying in October. I'm just telling you right now. When look,
Chasing pumps is a horrible thing.
I think October, everyone is going to be going ballistic, and people are going to be jumping back in because they're going to see money being made. And it's like you had 2 years and a half to buy, and even now we've had such a mediocre bull run when it comes to alts and alt season. I would hope people that are watching the show have already bought or are going to buy now, that are not going to make the mistake of buying when Bitcoin's at 145 and ETH is already over 6K. Something like Pengu is already 2x'd. Solana's 2. You get what I'm saying? Everything is starting to run, and then you try to jump in. Yeah, you might catch it going up, but you also kind of blew an opportunity to buy at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about this today, but you'll see the Bitcoin fear and greed index at euphoria levels. You'll see the the altcoin season indicator into altcoin season. That's time to take profits. That is not the time to be buying into the market. It's time to take profits. It's time to take some money off the table. Pay yourself for the last 2.5 years that you've been working in this market, researching, staring at my stupid face on this show, and getting all this information. Capitalize on all that information. Capitalize on all that work. Pay yourself. Do not round trip your bags.
All right. I have a free sports bet to give away. Look at his face. Listen. We are going to be launching something special here where we're going to talk more than just about crypto, and you guys will like it. For a very, 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 very tiny amount, you're going to get our insights on a lot of stuff. And I'm going to give a freebie today. Preseason NFL football money line. Take the Cleveland Browns. You're going to have to bet a little bit because the line is high. Just it's a lock as well. As much of a lock as you get for preseason football. Now, if we lose this bet, come at me. Yes, I'm a Browns fan, and the Browns are not going to be good this year, probably. But for this specific preseason game that's on noon on NFL Network, if you want to get a little extra money to put back into the crypto market, take the Cleveland Browns money line. Always do your own research. I just want to throw that out there. And once we begin memberships, you're going to hear Mr. FOMO's insights on a lot of stuff, including my sports information. So just wait for that. Fatherhood, everything's coming.
Insights. I can't wait.
You think Mr. FOMO is unhinged here? Wait till you get to the members only shows that we're going to be launching, hopefully in the fall. All right, Mr. FOMO, we'll see if I'm right. Remember, 5K ETH this week, right? And Bitcoin will have a bit of a struggle this weekend, but then kind of surge back at least to 116. And then today, Cleveland Browns money line over the Los Angeles Rams.
There we go.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We will see you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like